Yes, give me a moment, everybody. Just give me a moment.
Look.
If you're watching this on Al Jazeera, you're thinking Ethiopians are just having an unbelievably passionate conversation, row, debate. I don't even understand what people are protesting about. Let me share this with you. Some of the demands of the Oromo people. What are the demands of the Oromo people right now? Minister, are you aware of what the issues are that people are wanting within Ethiopia? Are you aware of that? I'm going to ask you very directly. What's your direct answer?
I think there is one misconception I have to dispel here.
Okay.
You are assuming that the entire Oromo people are protesting.
I didn't make that assumption.
Millions are protesting, Mr. Getachew. Millions, not a few thousand. Millions from Borana to Dambidolo, from Hara to
on fire.
Shawa to...
Moran, let me just finish this thought. Minister, I wasn't talking about a hashtag. I was just asking very directly. So we couldn't get lost here.
Look, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just not hearing the answer.
The Oromo people are the aspirations of the Amhara people, the aspirations of the people of Tigray, the people of Afar, which is to live in a country that protects their interests, to live in a country.
Please, Mr. Getachew, don't, you know, millions of people say to European, go away. Millions of people,
Moran, just give me a moment. So, Minister, are you able, do you even know what people are protesting about? Minister, do you even know what people are protesting about?
Exactly,
yes, we do understand.
We do
understand.
Moran, allow me, please. What is your understanding about what people are protesting about?
Our understanding is those who are trying to protest peacefully in this country, be they in the Amhara region or in the Somali region or in Oromia region, are trying to make sure whatever benefits are accruing to many parts of the country are also things they can partake of. They want to.
But you are killing them peaceful demonstrators.
That's the rest of the.
You are killing them peaceful protesters, you know. That's Mr. Getachew, you want to kill in the room.
Take a moment, take a pause. This is not clarity. I apologize if you're watching this around the world. This is not clarity. We'll try and get some before the end of this show. Everybody just take a pause for a moment. Malika.
So the minister there was trying to answer what he believes protesters want. So here's another answer from Twitter. Fasiha says, the parliament is 100% controlled by the ruling party. There's no distinction between the party and the government, and the courts have no independence. The government often pretends as if the question is about good governance. This person goes on to say,
Objectionist elements from the diaspora to organize through social media and all violent demonstrations which are basically aimed at dismantling state structure and creating the kind of instability that will help them drive their own agendas and impose their own agendas on this country. So I think the government has been very, very consistent to a fault in terms of telling people that whether there are people who are expressing their concerns is not a problem for us. Whether people are interested in demonstrations is not a problem.
It has been a problem to us, Mr. Getachew. It has been a problem to us. Those who are legally registered.
In a manner
Getachew, just hold tight for a moment because there's a response coming right back from our studio. Manara, what did you want to say?
Yeah, it has been a problem to us, those who are legally registered. You know, this is social media organized, diaspora organized. Simply it cannot work. Millions of people, not few thousand, millions of people across Oromia, now across Amara, the Amara region is demonstrating, demanding their rights, demanding the accountable government, demanding the right to free expression, demanding stopping land grab, demanding stop killings. What he's talking about?
Well, there is nothing wrong with people expressing whatever concerns they have in a peaceful manner. What the government is
denying people to protest peacefully. That's the problem. You have been denying, Mr. Getachew. I know, we know each other. You have been denying people. We have several times asked people were trying to peacefully demonstrate, empty-handed.
Dr. Marara,
just hold tight for a moment because I know that our online community will want to jump into the conversation too. Go ahead, Malika.
Well, picking up on this, hearing the reports of deaths and arrests, we got this tweet out of Ethiopia. This is Diriba, who says, I'm in the capital right now. After this tweet, I know I'll be arrested, and the crime I commit is an act of terror. Of course, we have no way to verify that independently, so we talked to Al Jazeera's producer, who is in Ethiopia, and this is what she told us. She says it was very difficult difficult for her team to verify information from Addis Ababa. The government shut down social media and blocked telephone networks in some parts. She goes on to say that she's received calls from Ethiopians who
Their questions or comments, so we want to give the Communications Affairs Minister, Getachew Rado, the opportunity to address some of their concerns. Let's get right to it. Malika.
Well, I will start with this tweet from Jamal. He says, how on earth could a single party win 100% the parliamentary seats, and yet this could still be described as a democratic country? What's wrong with us, he says, using the plural there. What would you say to him?
Well, I would say I have to say that I'm not particularly proud of the fact that the ruling party won 100%, or at least ruling party, its affiliates won 100% of the seats. But ultimately, as I say, democracy is not just about the results. It's mainly about the process. And as far as we're concerned, we tried to make sure the process was free and fair. We tried to make sure all opposition parties canvassed during the election. Unfortunately, our opposition are very divided. And in an electoral system such as ours, where seats are won on a first past the post basis, whoever has performed better in terms of garnering not the plurality, not the majority, but at least in terms of comparison, much better votes, much larger votes gets the seats.
So your
of course, that's what
majority,
happened.
explain what your majority is in the Ethiopian government, because it's an impressive majority. What is the majority?
Yeah, I mean, out of the 547 seats, I would say about 500 seats, 499 seats were won by the ruling party. But
right.
the rest is also won by the parties which are not part of the ruling party, but
right, so we
anyway.
started this conversation, Minister, with looking at the protests that just happened this weekend. There was violence, people were hurt, people have been injured, people have been killed. How do you propose to stop that from happening again?
Look, it's very unfortunate that we have not even been able to address the real issue, why this all is happening. Like I tried to say earlier, we have to make a fine distinction between people legitimately protesting because of
all right, so I'm going to push you, Minister. We spent half an hour. You spent half an hour saying that same thing over again. How do you propose to stop this happening again? Violent protests, people being killed. How do you propose to stop that from happening again?
The government is holding extensive discussions and consultations with the public. If it wasn't for the support of the public, some of the violence